Get the latest Zacks research, analysis, and rankings on exchange-traded funds in Exploring ETFs. We're going to talk about China ETFs now with our ETF strategist for Zacks.com, Eric Dutram. In particular, three that you say are crushing the competition. First of all, let's set the backdrop. Been a pretty bad year for the Chinese markets?
Definitely a year to forget for China so far, and that's for a couple different reasons. First of all, the growth figures have really come down for China, coming down below the key 8% level. Some are worried it might fall below 7%, and there's been a lot of concern on the financial side as well. There's high debt levels in a lot of regional economies, and the banks are really concerned about some of the central government's policies in terms of keeping rates low. And these issues have compounded with concerns over the Chinese economy rebalancing.
Growth, yeah.
Yeah, everything's really focused on manufacturing, and they really need to get more consumers involved. And this has translated into a pretty terrible performance for the top China ETF out there, FXI. This fund is down about 14% over the last 6 months, about 17% over the last year. And as you can see in the chart, it's been pretty rocky. It's come back a little in July and early August, but the trend is obviously pretty low.
All right, but you at least alluded through that headline that I gave that there are some in the space that are doing well.
Definitely. If you look to the technology space, some names here have actually been pretty solid performers. These actually have very different holdings than FXI. FXI has about 50–60% of its portfolio in financials. And as you might guess by that segment previously, the financials have been pretty beaten down. So ETFs that kind of cycle away from financials have been much better performers, and they've held up really well. Some have gained almost 30%, crushing FXI, which, as just said, was down, and then the S&P 500 up about 15% year to date. So these have been even better performers than the U.S. market so far.
Okay, and you've got some examples.
Yeah, if you look to specifically China technology ETFs, we got CQQQ. And then QQQC. They're both trying to play off the the Nasdaq QQQ right there. Right. And mostly they focus on internet stocks and mid caps as well. This is another difference that they have between themselves and the popular FXI. Unfortunately, both have low volume and assets under management, so you might get wider bid-ask spreads here. But both have gained about 29–30% year to date, so they've been really strong performers.
And then a slightly broader fund, ticker PGJ.
Yes,
right?
Yeah, exactly. This is a PowerShares fund, and once again, it has a heavy technology focus, about 50–60% of the portfolio here. Also has a consumer and then telecom, healthcare holdings as well. So once again, pretty different than FXI, kind of similar to the other two products we highlighted. And this one's actually been the top China ETF so far this year, gaining a little over 30% on the year.
Performance-wise, what are we talking about?
Yeah, if you compare FXI to those three products I just highlighted, you can see a huge difference. FXI is really struggling here, and the other three have really gained pretty much in tandem over the last couple of months. And it's a pretty difficult trend to break.
All right, look to the future for us.
Well, if you consider where we've been and kind of the trends in the China space, it looks like financials are still going to be kind of weak, and manufacturing is going to kind of be a down sector as well. So it might be worth it to continue to cycle towards these technology, consumer-type sectors, at least in the near term. And you can definitely do that with any of the three I highlighted, as well as a new fund from a new ETF provider, Crane Shares, and that's KWEB. And this focuses entirely on internet stocks based out of China. So this could be another one to look to in the months ahead.
Interesting. All right. Do you own any of these that you talked about?
I do not.
All right. Check out other interesting ETF articles for your review on our website, Zacks.com. They're in the ETF section of the website, and you can get there by, first of all, going to the homepage, Zacks.com, and then across the top toolbar there, the navigation bar, you'll see the word funds. You just scroll over that, and then that'll help you to click on over to the ETF section of Zacks.com. With Eric here, I'm Terry Ruffalo.